Hello everyone. Now we start a new chapter. The chapter name is building planning. We already discussed in a lecture. Okay, so we start with the introduction. So in a residential building, two factors are of a great importance: the site and the planning of the building. After selecting a suitable site, the next step of a building is the planning. So the functional planning is a prerequisite of any types of the building. Good planning imparts a good environment for living, working, and recreation. So the term planning of a building by an engineer is used to mean the arrangement of all the units of a building on all the floors at all the levels, right? The residential building need to be planned according to the needs of the occupants and also according to the available funds. The the planning should be functional. The planning should be functional planning, which means designing a building on a function or requirements and not on some traditional style. Everyone wishes to live in a splendid building and also wishes to own building or a house, however small or big it may be. Okay, though probably the larger single investment one makes in his life in his own house, right? So the following consideration are kept in mind for making the design more useful. So there are four consideration. The first one is people and their requirements. The second is a climate and its effect. The third is a building bylaws and its building bylaws of the locality, and the material and method of the construction. Now planning and designing of a building has become a very expert job. In this chapter, elementary principles and basic requirements for building planning and plan elevation and section of a simple residential building have been discussed briefly. Okay, the next topic is the concept of a plan of a simple residential building. So, the arrangement of various rooms in a building is known as a plan or design of a building. While attempting to a plan of a building, the main criteria to be constantly kept in mind by the engineer is to general scope or purpose of the building. Each type of building has its own requirement to suit its purpose in the best possible manner. To develop the plan of building, size of the rooms, the locations, position of passage, and other amenities, etc., are to be considered. The different sorry A building used for the dwelling purpose is known as a residential building. A residential building such as bungalows or a flat can be divided in three major areas, like a living area, sleeping areas, and service area. All the three areas are planned taking into consideration the purpose for which they will be used. These areas are grouped together by means of passage, lobbies, staircase, and etc. Number of rooms and their arrangement should be such that all the requirements of the owners are fully met, and interrelationship of a various rooms in such that owner fits very little distribution in his house. Okay, plan of a simple residential building prepared with due consideration for economy, rules and regulation, and types of the family and their needs. The different rooms in a residential building are a living room or drawing room, dining room, kitchen, storeroom, bedroom, bath, WC, and veranda. Okay, drawing room, dining room, then kitchens and store all should be arranged in a one row and all should be interconnected. Here in the figure we can see that the dining room, kitchen, drawing room are in a all are interconnected. Okay, similarly bedroom, study room, then a dressing room, bath and WC should be interconnected. Then a bedroom and drawing room should be connected through a covered corridor, right? So the plan arrangement of various room in made for a easy access, comfort, better utility, and for better living environment. Okay. Okay, the next topic, this is a most IMP topic for the exam, elementary principles of the building planning. So there are a certain general principles or factor which an engineer should bear in mind while planning a building. Okay, while planning a building, the principles of planning should be considered in close association with theoretical and practical aspect. All the principles may not be rigidly possible to adopt, and there should be some scope of the flexibility. These principles are of very general nature, and they have to be applied on individual merits only. Okay, so basically total 11 principles. So first is aspect, then prospect, privacy, grouping, roominess, and circulation, elegance, flexibility, sanitation, economy and practical consideration, furniture requirement. Okay, so we start with the first one, aspect. Okay, so different rooms of a building should be located as per their functional utility, keeping in view the direction of sun and wind. Basically aspect means one type of direction. Okay, direction of the various room. So a room must get a maximum advantage of these natural resources. A room which receive a light and air from particular direction is said to have an aspect of this direction. Okay, this is a very important consideration in a planning of a building, from comfort as well as hygiene consideration. Each room of a residential building particularly should have a particular aspect, because certain rooms need morning sun, whereas other rooms do need light at all. Okay, aspect of different room of a residential building for topics are there. That the there are this table is given the type of room, and the second is aspect. So kitchen, aspect of the kitchen is east, then a dining room, the aspect of dining room is south direction. Then a drawing room, aspect of drawing room is south or southeast or northeast. Okay, bedroom, southwest or west or southwest, because due to daytime we not need to a light in a bedroom. Okay, then a study room, so kept a study room in north or northwest. Then a storeroom. The storeroom is kept in a north direction. And then last WC and bar. The kept in a north or northeast direction. Okay. The second principle is prospect. Prospect, it gives how a building will look if it is a view from the outside, and pleasant of opening in front wall to give aesthetic appearance, and on one other hand should conceal some undesirable view. Okay, doors and windows should be located that pleasant and notable features are revealed and undesirable view cancel. Okay, prospect means one type of elevation, right? One type of elevation. So one must feel the sense of pride in having a house which is a pleasing in appearance and is reflecting in individually. Uh, Here, some of the typical projecting types of windows are given. So this is a projecting window, so that the appearance of building is good. Okay, so this is a projecting. Here the one window is given, here also window is given. This is a W1, means W and W1, there are two types of window, means the dimension of two windows are changed. Okay. Okay, the third term is privacy. It is one of the most important factor for the principles of planning. There should be privacy in individual room as part and a building as a whole from other building. It is a very essential for the a very essential building particularly. So we use the curtains not only for the beauty but also for the privacy. In a residential building, the room should be so planned that privacy is maintained in all the rooms. Then arrangement of the doors and the way shutters are hung. Privacy can be maintained. It's shown in the figures. In case of a residential building, privacy can be secured by carefully planning the entrance, proper grouping of all the rooms and their correlation, and by providing a veranda, corridors, and passage. Study rooms need a privacy in form of isolation so that not disturbed by other family members. In a residential building, for a bedroom privacy must be maintained. Here in the figure, we can see that here the entrance, this is a bedroom, and the entrance are given at a center so that the visible area is more, right? Visible area is more so that privacy cannot maintain. Okay, yeah, in the second figure, the door's location is at the corner side, left side corner, but the opening of the door so that the room's visibility is more so that the privacy cannot be maintained. And the last figure, the door entrance are given at the center corner, but the opening of door in such a way that the privacy can be maintained properly. Okay, the next term is a grouping. The placing of a various room or units of a structure in proper correlation of their function and in due to proximity with each other is known as a grouping. For example, in a residential building, dining room should be close to the kitchen. Okay, at the same time, kitchen should kept away from the main living room to avoid a smoke and smell. Main bedroom should be located there. There is an independent and separate access from each other towards the sanitary units directly or through other important unimportant rooms. It is observed that grouping leads to saving in unnecessary movements, proper correlation, easy control, and overall economy. Okay, the next term is roominess. Roominess means a dimension of the building, length, width, and height. Okay, the term roominess is used to refer the effect derived from space of the rooms, its length, width, and height. Okay, the room's dimension should be such that the maximum use of our room having a minimum possible dimension can be met. Of course, a square room cost minimum, but it also has a minimum usable area, whereas a rectangular room will give a more usable area. Okay, a length width ratio should be 1.2 in 1 to 1.5 in 1. A room with length longer than 1.5 times its width will give a tunnel effect and hence should be avoided. Okay, uh, height is also play an important role. A small room with a more height looks awkward. Okay, and a large room has a less ceiling height will give a very bad impression. In order to create an effect of closeness for a building such as a club, the ceiling height may be kept a low. Hence, room should have a all dimension proportional. Similarly, utility of room can be increased by providing a self cupboard, and etc. Here in the figure, so the first room is a square room. Okay, 4 by 4 meter. So square room, the usable area is 12 meter square and the perimeter is 16 meter. Okay, then a rectangular room. So rectangular room, then L in B 1.3 to 1 and usable area is 12.6 meter square and the perimeter is 6.2 meter. So it looks beautiful. And the third one, rectangular room, L in B is maintained 1. Sorry, L in B is not maintained 1.77 by 1. So usable area is more, means a 12.9 meter square, and the perimeter is 16.6 meter. But it give a bad impression. Okay. Then next, circulation. The term circulation or access is used to mean the link between the various rooms and floor of the building. Okay, the proper provision of circulation make the building comfortable and convenient. A room can be divided in two space. One is a useful space and other is a circulation. The ratio between circulation space or utilization space should be around 1 in 4 for a economical planning. If the circulation is one of the same floor, it is known as a horizontal circulation, and it include a veranda, passage, corridors, lobbies and hall. And for a vertical circulation, about 8 to 10% of floor area of building is considered to be adequate. And for achieving access to the upper floor, stair or staircase or lifts are provided. Here in the figure, so we can see that the best case is given, so circulation is properly maintained. Okay, in the in the second figure, though here waste is less but space is divided and hence less useful area. So here from figure we can see that this space is waste. Okay, we cannot use this space. The third one is the third one is the room is divided, the sorry, this is the better, but privacy cannot be practically not possible, because one in a one room there are no two door are provided. Okay, in third case, this is a poor case, because there's a the left side is one door and the other door is a right hand side corner. Basically this is a poor case, and useful space is very little. Okay, the next is elegance. Elegance is related to the effect produced by the elevation, which which depends upon the proportion of width and height, position of doors and windows, as also the choice of the material. Okay, the term elegance is used to indicate the architectural effect produced by elevation. Architectural design and composition should be studied in detail as a whole for achieving a success in creating an elegant structure. The visualization of elevation should be kept in mind while preparing a plan. Okay, the next is a flexibility. Flexibility means a room should be so planned for one function that even if required, it can be used for the other purpose. Then a present and future requirements of family change as family expand. Okay, so flexibility means planning the room in such a way that though originally designed for a specific purpose may be used for the other purpose also as and when desired. In residential building also many times to arrange a large gathering of people, so small rooms are converted to a big hall by shifting a wooden partition wall. Okay, thank you for the watching.